In July of 2000, St. Mary's United Methodist Church in St. Mary's, Georgia, a congregation of 800, received word that Mr. Warren Bailey, a local businessman and member of the church, had died. To the surprise of all, including the pastor, they also learned that Mr. Bailey had designated the church as the primary beneficiary in his will, a sum of money that, by the time it was tallied, would exceed $60 million.
My first thought scared me to death. and the reason being, you just never even think of anything like that, of anybody giving $60 million to a church.
Before we ever saw a dime, we had 2,500 written requests in our office, people who wanted money. Just some of them heartbreaking.
I remember one Sunday morning we came to church and there was a reporter from the New York Times there. And this was a regular occurrence.
I was in the office, working out of the office as treasurer, and we were getting calls from Japan and England and all over the world.
In fact, I believe there was a radio station up in North Carolina that got on the air and was broadcasting to everybody in their area that this little old church down in St. Mary's had been just given $60 million, and if you wanted some of it, here is the telephone number.
As the buzz of the international press descended on St. Mary's, the congregation had to make a critical choice that would shape their future forever: what to do with the money.
A sermon that, I imagine it was one of the first sermons that Reverend Derek McAleer delivered in consideration of the bequest. And he said, I hope that we don't lose ourselves. And what can we do to make sure we're true to God?
The best thing that happened was a planning group of about 15 people who met weekly for quite a few weeks to decide or to make recommendations to the church body as to what should be done with all this money.
The congregation prayed and struggled to find the answer to that question. Through town hall meetings, church-wide discussion, and the establishment of an advisory board, a unanimous decision was reached. The money would be given away. An initial $16 million was dispersed through the Missions Committee, and in 2001, $42 million was invested to establish the St. Mary's United Methodist Church Foundation.
When the advisory committee decided this money was not going to the church, it was going to the community, to the state, to the nation, to the world. I think that was a tremendous demonstration of God's love and how we were trusting God to do the right thing.
The foundation began with a specific mission. As stewards of the manifold grace of God, we will be a lasting, effective, and compassionate charitable resource for agencies in Southeast Georgia, the nation, and the world that respond to people in need, for institutions related to United Methodism, and for organizations that promote evangelical Christianity. And that's just what the foundation has done